back out on the championship golf course here at the Forest of Arden, talking about some of the decisions that you make and how they can really influence your score. Every single shot that you hit on the golf course involves a decision. You have to choose a club, you have to choose a shot style, you have to choose a target. And those decisions can really influence your score. And I've picked 3 situations today which I think, if you think about these and look at these slightly differently and maybe use a different golf club, we could see your scores dramatically lower and your handicap reduce. So let's find our first situation and explain the options that you have and what I think you should choose. So here's our first scenario. I've hit an absolutely perfect drive into A1 position and I've only got 85 yards left to that flag. So I'm going to stand up here, I'm going to take dead aim at the flag, I'm going to hit a wedge shot and I'm going to give myself the best chance of making birdie. Wrong. If you are a handicap golfer, a recreational golfer, which I'm sure you are watching this, you're going to have a shot dispersion. What that means is when you hit, let's say, 100 shots from 85 yards, they're going to land in a certain area, and that area is going to depend on your ability. But even myself as a professional, from this situation, I would not go for that flag. Just look at where it's positioned, extreme right-hand side of the green. I've only got to underhit this shot by a couple of paces and hit it right on my target by a couple of paces, and I'm in the bunker. And I've turned a situation which was a green light birdie chance into what could be a bogey or a double bogey. So this is where you do absolutely need to leave your ego at home. Even from less than 100 yards with a wedge in my hand, I'm going to be aiming left of that flag, and I would absolutely advise you do the same. Now, how far left you aim will depend a little bit on your ability, but aiming at these flags is where we can really come a little bit unstuck. So I'm actually going to go a little bit left towards that tree that you can see behind the green. And if I can get the distance right, I'm still going to have a decent chance at birdie. So there you can see, comfortably left of the flag. Distance was perfect. I've got a great look at birdie, but I'm not going to make more than a par, and it's going to keep my momentum going. So the first time we need to make that really important decision is when we've got short shots into the greens and the flags are tucked in tricky positions. Play to the safe part of the green, give yourself the greatest chance for hitting the green and take away those bogeys and double bogeys. So this time I've missed the green with my approach, but I'm actually short left of the green and I've got a fairly clear path to the flag. So this should be a relatively straightforward pitch. I've got my 60-degree club. As long as I can get this within 3 or 4 feet, I give myself a really good chance of making my par still. But they're not easy shots. And if you're a recreational golfer with a handicap, they might give you a little bit of difficulty. And if we give you 10 shots like that, it might well be that 2 or 3 of them are going to have a really poor result. So why not, again, leave that ego at home, take the 60, put it back in your bag and go for less loft. And when I say less loft, I really do mean less loft. Why not take your putter? Let's try and remember what your job is here on the golf course. Your job on the golf course is to get the ball into the hole as quickly and as fewer shots as you can. And because I've got a situation here where there's nothing between me and the green, why not play the golf ball on the ground? It's a much, much safer shot. We're probably not going to fat or thin the putter, and it's much easier to predict what the ball is going to do. The only thing you've really got to try and worry about is getting the right distance. But as long as you can make that fairly reactionary, it's going to be a much, much easier way for you to get that ball onto the green and somewhere near the hole, just like that one. I've now got a chance to save my par. And again, I've taken out the chance of me racking up a bogey or a double bogey by using the putter when it's safe to. So leave that ego at home, use your putter when you're off the green. Let's put the lofted clubs away. And the final scenario would be a bunker shot, which will be similar to this one. I've missed the green to the left. It's a very, very good lie. I've not got a particularly high lip to get over, but it's a good probably 30 yards back to that flag. So I've taken my 56 degree, which is the one I use at the bunkers. And how do we play a bunker shot? Well, we open the face, we have the ball forward, and we choose that club which has got lots and lots of loft. But I'm a long way short of that flag. As we take the most loft that we have and we open the face and we hit the sand before the ball, all of those things rob us of distance. And so we can get the ball out, but I've probably left myself in a position where I potentially could still 3-putt from there. So why not choose less loft than the sand wedge and go for something like a 9-iron? Much longer club shaft. It's going to allow me to generate a little bit more speed and an impact. Obviously it's got less loft. That's going to cause the ball to come out with a little bit more distance. And I can play it in a very, very similar way. I can open the face just a little bit. I can have everything the same, but the fact that it's a 9-iron is going to mean that ball has a lot more roll out, and it's going to allow me to get much closer to those flags. So as you hit your ball into the bunker, don't automatically go for that lofted club, that sand iron, or that lob wedge. If you've got a fair distance to travel, like we have here, use a pitching wedge, use a 9-iron, use an 8-iron. It's going to be much easier for you to get that ball all the way back to that flag and give you a much better chance of getting up and down. So if you're really serious about dropping your score and your handicap, you have to think about the decisions that you're making and how they're influencing that score. Don't always go for the obvious shots, the sand iron at the bunker, or aiming for the flag when you're inside 100 yards. Hopefully we've demonstrated in this video how you can play the percentages. And over a round of 18 holes, that's really going to contribute to your score. And I really believe that's going to help you lower that score and drop that handicap. Thank you very much for watching. Usual stuff is down below. There's a like button there, there's a comments box, and also that subscribe link. If you'd like to be part of my channel, I would love to have you in the community. I really believe that these videos can help you unlock your best golf. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back here again soon for a future video.